Hi guys! Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is your professional accountant, CPA/Fangirl Z.
Hi everyone! This is your aspiring marketing person na si Tita Michi.
And hello, this is your titang full-time employee at part-time grad student and aspiring instructor na si Ayla. And you are listening to the KimBop Show.
The KimBop Show!
Where we talk about all things K.
Hey! For this episode, this is actually really special kasi we have another guest. So, this guest right here is actually my friend, and then it also happens na she's also a professional fangirl, as she likes to call it. Meaning, in a sense na she does her work as a publishing or a part of a publishing company by day and a fangirl by night. So, let's welcome our friend from Wonder Magazine and Globe K-mmunity, Miss Cessi Treñas.
Yay!
Hey guys!
Hi, Cessi!
Hi!
Ang pretty naman! Ang pretty!
Hello!
Hi!
At that's grabe, 8 p.m. na. Ang 8 p.m. na, parang 7 a.m. pa lang kay Cessi.
Diba? Very fresh. How do you...
Makeup ko lang
Please
kasi.
drop your skincare routine, ma'am.
Drop your skincare routine.
Bagong makeup lang yan.
Ayan. So, hi, Cessi. Very nice to see you here. So, can you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do professionally and, as a fangirl then.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Cessi. I work for Wonder Magazine, which is an online style and pop culture platform. I am their beauty and music content lead. Over there, I write, I edit content, we create videos and all of that. I also used to be the channel editor for Globe K-mmunity, which is Globe's official K-culture platform, I guess you could call it that. And as a fangirl, I have been a K-pop fan since 2008.
Oh my God, tita!
Yeah.
Similar! Tita! Tita print!
Tita!
So, bagay ako sa profile ninyo guys, don't worry.
Correct!
Yeah, so
Correct.
since 2008, I am a fan of SHINee and 17.
Oh my God!
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's cool. Parang iisa tayo ng pinanggaling.
Talaga ba?
Oo.
Kasi mga ganun din kami, 2009, 2008, 2008, mga ganun. Yeah.
Started with SHINee as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
yung mga high school sumasayaw sa ringding do.
Grabe.
That's nice. I mean, when she said na she's a beauty guru of some sort over at Wonder, I mean, I did not wonder why. Very obvious na ganda. Sana all.
Salamat. Thank you so much.
So, since
So
we
now
have
that you mentioned... Ay, sorry, go.
Go on, Ichi.
Since that, we've mentioned, or Cessi mentioned that she does Wonder and Globe K-mmunity and also as a fangirl, can you describe us what's a day in the life of Miss Cessi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Walk us through.
From 7
well,
a.m., ganun.
grabe, 7 a.m. tulog pa ako. I am happy about the work from home kasi, I mean, work starts at 9 a.m. I get out of bed like 8:55.
Right?
Oh my God. Yes.
Ako lang yata yung masaya na work from home pa rin tayo. But then,
No, I share the same sentiment, actually.
diba?
Ako din. Nakakatamad
Diba?
mag-commute eh.
I can't imagine commuting anymore. Pero anyway, I'm no longer with Globe K-mmunity, but back then when I was balancing both Wonder and K-mmunity, my day was mostly, I'd get up at around before 9, shortly before 9, start with skincare, of course, a must. Sunscreen is a must. And then my day really just gets started with a cup of coffee. Before my coffee, I don't function. I don't remember
Right.
anything. Nothing enters this. Nothing goes
She's a
into my
mood,
head.
ma'am.
Funny that you mentioned that because I have a private Twitter account tas yung my bio reads as don't talk to me until I have had my coffee. Kasi
Yeah, that's exactly it.
very agit ako kapag walang coffee sa system ko.
Diba? As in like, please don't. No, I'm not human until I have my coffee.
Yeah.
Tapos, after the coffee, I sign into work. For Wonder kasi we just mostly communicate via Viber these days, so that's really where we sign in. And then I get to my tasks for the day, so I refer to Google Calendar, all the emails that I missed and all of that. And then I look at my workload for the day for Wonder Stories. I also schedule Wonder's Twitter posts since we all handle one social media platform each, and for me it's Twitter. As for K-mmunity naman, the schedule wasn't quite as fixed as Wonder because for us it's mostly 9 to 6. But then with the K-mmunity work, it wasn't really like a time-bound job, I guess you could say. It was really
So
more
it depends
of,
on the projects na available
Yes.
that needs work on.
we would just have like, I don't know how they do it now since I left the platform in January, but then the way it used to be was every Monday we'd have alignment meetings just to like catch up and see the developments from the past week, mention any struggles we had, if any. But yeah, generally on the day-to-day, it was mostly making sure that our content was on track and then having weekly meetings with the team so that we could come up with like content ideas for 2 weeks later.
That's cool. But now that you've mentioned, how your day goes by every day, like from putting up sunscreen to checking your emails, I guess what most K-pop stans are curious about is, some K-pop stans are into like media line of work as well, just like Michi and you. I guess they're most curious about what's the perk of working for a media company like, let's say, Globe or Wonder. Like,
Okay.
diba? Kasi I'm sure people are excited about, do I get backstage passes or stuff like that. Can you tell us more about that, if that's okay?
Yeah, for sure. No problem. I'm very open naman about the perks that come with the job. I mean, I know some people are quite touchy about it, but for me, I think it's just natural to have those perks.
Yeah, of
because,
course. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as like when you work for the music production company, you get certain perks, or when you're like the producer of a concert, you also get certain perks. So, the perks that we receive for working in the media would, number one, I guess, get to be access to press conferences.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I think you guys were also there for Pentagons. So we've been
yeah,
working with Cube for a while. And Cube is really nice to work with. Like, they even sent a gift, like a present for gratitude, like a signed album. So di ko na kailangan
Wow.
magpa-fan sign.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, really nice of them naman. I also, back when we were doing on-ground events, we used to get access to a lot of events so that we could write about them, cover them on social media.
Right.
And yeah, of course, naturally, some of those events would be K-pop events, concerts, etc. So
Tell us
it
about
really depends.
Yeah.
Tell us about the
Yeah.
first time na you attended an event as a part of Wonder. What did it feel like for you?
Ano ba?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Okay, wait lang. Actually, before I was with Wonder, I was with Mega Magazine. I was with them for 2.5 years. So,
Oh.
2.5, yeah, 2.5. Ayun. So, one of the big, I guess, things that happened for me as a fan was, number one, shooting a cover with Sandara Park.
Wow.
I mean, everyone at one point of their life, diba, was like a 2NE1 fan. So,
Yeah.
I remember pa like,
Yeah.
Every
grabe, I was like
Pinoy.
trying to keep my cool. Kasi, medyo bago pa lang ako noon. I guess I've been working for about a year. Tapos, we had to work with her stylist. I was really just assisting during that time, but of course, like being in the same room and like getting to see
my
her up
gosh.
close. I mean, kakaiba talaga. It's different, like working with someone whom you really looked up to or like you idolized when you were growing up versus like, okay, a cover star whom you just started knowing about or something like that. Another thing though is when 17 came to the Philippines, yung concert nila sa Soler.
In 2016,
Okay.
tama ba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
one. The first
The
Yeah.
first
one.
one.
Yeah,
The only
so that,
concert I haven't been to. Kasi hindi pa ako karat that time. Nakakaasar. Yeah.
at that
But
time,
go on, sorry.
I was like a freshly, newly christened carrot pa lang at that time. So, di ba August yun? I think I had only gotten into 17 during like May of that same year. So, a few months pa
Wow.
lang. But like, girl, I fell hard talaga as in like,
She slipped. She slipped
I
into
slipped.
the diamond
Like,
life.
She slipped.
Like, what kind of work did you do? Did you cover the concert? Like, you had to write about it while they were performing? Something like that?
yes. So, for that naman, like, as in, trinabaho ko talaga to make sure na I could attend both days. I only bought a ticket for the first day because I could only afford one ticket. So, yung second day, I was determined to like find a way talaga. So, I brought it up to my boss. I told her, these boys are coming and I love them so much. So, I need to make sure na I get into the second day. So, sabi niya, okay, sige. What you can do is try and sort of get a connection to maybe the hotel, and then maybe they could give you some access of some sort. I can't fully remember like how it happened because I was like so caught up in the moment, but I was able to get permission to cover the second day. And then what happened after that? There was like very strict kasi yung 3 angles ata yun yung producer at that time. So parang we could only go near the stage and take pictures for the first 3 songs. Pero like okay na yun because like, I mean, the memory lives in my mind until this day. Like ang lapit nila, like 1 arm distance away. It's probably the closest I've ever been to the boys. And then there, I think that was the time na like, ang lapit namin that I called Jangan from the stage, tapos tumingin siya sa camera ko. Like, like that lives in my phone. That video is in, kakaiba talaga. I fell hard. But then, there, so, for that naman, I wrote, I think a page about it in Mega Magazine. So, this is for like the next month's issue. Just like, normally kasi I don't really work that hard to try and get access. Like for me now, I think because I guess I'm more thankfully financially capable of buying the tickets myself. I'd rather make sure that I can support the artist. But for me, that stands out as like the one moment talaga na I was thankful for my job.
Please.
When?
Wow. I want to ask you though, who's your bias?
I was gonna
Biases.
I didn't want to cut her off kanina. Kaya I was waiting for her to finish the story.
Kilala ko,
But I want
pero
to
I'll let
ask.
her speak.
No, let me rephrase the question. Who was your
Okay,
bias
okay.
before entering the, the Soler Theater? And then, who's your bias after?
Ba't may ganon?
May nangyari bang
Ganon.
ganun?
I mean, diba? It's 17. It always happens during concerts. But yeah.
Okay. Next question po. Okay. So, from the very beginning, I was a Janghan girl, as in, like, through and through, up until now naman. But then, like, I don't know, some months into my carrot career, things started to get a little out of hand, I guess you would say. So, shout out to Chue Sung Chol, if you're watching.
It's him.
Ano pala sa kabila? It's him!
Ba't may ganyan?
Audio listeners, I have a social achieva with me. That's why.
But ganon. Actually, nandito yung this thing over here.
Oh my gosh. For
Okay.
audio listeners, she's actually showing like what's this? A frame?
A
Yeah,
frame of
parang-
some child. She
Yeah.
wanted
It's
to
galing-
give away.
Galing fan site or
Hindi, galing kay Michi. Lo.
It's from Kate. She wanna give away, and I witnessed Cessi receiving that frame on the cup sleeve event. I witnessed it with my
okay.
own eyes.
Wow.
Grabe talaga. Yeah, well, I mean, that's him.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you falling for some troll kasi super
Grabe yung
drama.
falling.
I mean, ano ba dapat? Sorry.
Being charmed
Ano ba daw?
by Char.
For lack of better term, like
Casual lang kami.
casual lang.
Casual. Okay.
Casual lang pero katabi niya yung frame during the recording. Okay.
eh.
Sure, Jan.
Diyan talaga yung frame. Like, it's really there. Swear to God. Ayan, really tuloy.
Okay, kung casual daw po sila, sige po, tanggapin po natin ang paliwanag.
Now that we have what we have, or now that we know what Chessie's life in a day is like, can we know what are the common misconceptions about being a working adult and a fangirl at the same time
Oh my
that
God.
you have experienced?
I think the biggest misconception is something that we see online on Twitter a lot, na parang they think the moment you start working, you're like an old hag who
Right?
is not allowed to fangirl anymore.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I don't know if like I'm old hag material, but I mean, that's not true. I feel like if anything, you unlock a new layer to your fangirling when you start working. Because I remember like back then, I would never have dreamed of like traveling for a concert because like my parents won't pay for that. Like you can't turn to anyone for something like that because I mean it's for your own personal happiness, diba? But
Right.
like once you start working, you can actually buy your own albums, buy your own merch, travel with your own money. So parang it's really more rewarding. It feels like different compared to like I don't know, asking your parents for money or setting aside like little bits of your allowance. Like I think
Exactly.
that's one big misconception. Another, what else pa ba besides that?
Being an old hag.
Yeah, everyone thinks we're old hags.
I mean, it's been a running joke on Stan tweet, diba? Like, parang every time an old fan, or like a fan of like say first gen or second gen group gets, have a beef with someone na fan ng younger groups, they'd always say na go cook something or like go care for your children. Like it's like a mockery. Parang like paano ba? Yun nga, parang
Parang they're saying you can only be a fangirl until you're like 18.
Yeah, which I think is a big, I don't know, it's a big misconception nga because, I don't know, for me at least, a lot of my career came from the fact that I was a fangirl and that I am a fangirl. So a lot of the opportunities that I have and had, they all came because I have been a fan for K-pop for so long. So ayun, parang I really think that another misconception, I guess, related to that comes from people around me naman, is that, I don't know, those who have seen me from like high school up until now, parang I guess they expected me to also grow out of it. So it's like the other side of the coin naman. It doesn't come from like, I don't know, strangers on Stan Twitter, but then it comes from people around me na parang, oh, fan ka pa rin yan. But yeah, I think that it's quite the opposite. It's a good thing that I'm still a fan because it continues to get me more and more opportunities. I think like the people who used to hate K-pop kasi like now they're all over it. So,
Oh my god.
I know
Tell
so
me
many
about it.
people.
am I an old hag or am I a trendsetter? Okay.
I love
Snap! Snap!
Snap! Pero,
I like what you said
Bestie.
about being a fangirl, allowing you to have more opportunity. So you're saying that somehow being a fangirl has allowed you to appreciate beauty more, fashion, and
Yeah,
other
in a
things
way.
related to it.
I mean,
In a way.
sorry. Personally, I would never bleach my hair if not for K-pop.
True.
I would not
Nagka-bleached
wear
hair phase din
glittery.
ako.
I mean, I'm not wearing it now.
I mean, diba? I would never be interested in coloring my hair and burning my scalp if not for K-pop. So, thank you,
Kasi.
K-pop.
Pero the struggle is so real. Nag-blonde din ako like I think 2 years ago. I think the last time Mitchie and I saw each other, I was blonde pa. Parang,
yeah.
grabe. The maintenance and the care. But then, like, I guess on that note, parang, I'm pretty transparent about the fact that when I was being hired for Wonder, one of the reasons why they really considered me is because I was well versed in K-pop. Because I mean, I think a lot of brands and a lot of companies are trying to align their strategy now to match
Exactly.
the Korean wave. So parang now is the time for the veteran fans to really like show our experience.
I mean, now that you've mentioned it, brands are, like, they're just really banking on the K-pop wave. Like, just the other day, I don't know if I'm allowed to mention brands, but this one, G-word, they greeted Mingyu on their Twitter account, like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What? I mean, and then there's
G-word.
another S-word. They're giving away like lots of K-pop merch every hour on their Twitter platform. They just grow their Twitter followings, diba? So parang yun nga, tama si Cessi. I agree na it's the experience that we have for K-pop. I think we can actually put that in our resume when like applying for jobs. So Michi.
I am so
Organized
motivated.
events for K-pop. Diba?
Totoo.
Oo. Actually, right now, bukod pa
Logistics,
dun.
planning.
I remember, may naalala na naman ako bukod pa dun sa na-mention ni C. The F company, they took Chaonu as their endorser. And I was like, I was so confused, but at the same time, okay, work. Let's capitalize on the K-pop wave. Let's capitalize on his face. Char. Pero yun.
Diba there's also this insurance company who got like Taeyong
Super
of
M?
NCT.
Super
Super
M.
M.
Yeah.
Yeah, Super
Oh.
M.
It was like, wait, what? Am I like
Pero
in a fever
actually-
dream?
Yeah.
Actually, kliyente namin yung company na yon. So, actually,
Ooh.
just last Friday, we mounted the watch party for Super M's music video for that. Actually, I'm not so sure if I can mention this, but I'll let you know if if kailangan siyang tanggalin. But
Yeah.
we mounted a watch party for Super M just fairly recently. So I think that was another project also that really showed me, like, you have to know the fans, because of course the people whom we were interacting with were also fans. So you need to know like what to ask them, what to say to them, how to come up with a script that will really relate to them. And I think that's only
Right.
something you can do if you're
If you're-
actually like immersed in like K-pop culture yourself.
Because now that you've mentioned it, it would be hard for a non-fan to handle, like, say, Twitter account and then post K-pop contents without actually being a fan. Because it's so easy to be cancelled by the K-pop fandom, diba?
Diba?
I mean,
Fans
say
can
one.
tell.
Yeah, fans can tell. Like, if you're just using them, well, we can tell that they are using us. But, nagpapagamit naman tayo as long as tama yung sinasabi.
I think like it's
Kakagat
very
naman sa
obvious
promo.
naman. Oo. Like, okay, kung may promo kayo, bibili naman ako. So, alright. Benefits me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting. May naalala din akong misconception about about adulting and being a fangirl na parang, why are you spending so much money on being a fangirl? Why don't you spend money on yourself? Like,
Yeah.
We're trying
yeah,
to maintain a balance too, you know.
Eh, that's like spending
Yeah.
money on yourself, diba?
Yeah, on your
Totoo.
happiness.
I mean, I think that's one of like the things that I learned as a working girl slash K-pop fan. Na parang when I finally earned my own money, I was so eager to spend it on like on my boys, on traveling, on buying the same stuff that they had. Pero like, I mean, you're not gonna do that forever. I think it's a phase that everyone goes through. Na parang,
Yeah.
just let them have fun. I mean, once they go broke, they'll realize that they need to stop spending money. Like that's how you learn. You gotta hit rock bottom first.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience lang
But I
naman.
hope for those who are listening, you would not submerge yourself in debt just because of
Yeah.
K-pop. I mean, a lot of that's ongoing issue with K-pop. A lot of like, for example, these children
Children
like,
talaga.
they
Children.
I mean they build group order shops and then they would end up losing money because they were not able to like track the money where it goes and where it went rather. Tapos they would end up parang scam of some sort. I mean
Yeah.
of course siguro yung iba hindi sinasadya na wala yung pera, like they got scammed themselves, but what I'm saying is be responsible then, I guess. I mean, wala
Yeah,
namang
and-
pipigil sa'yo.
Tsaka like spending money on K-pop in itself is a privilege. But at the same time, on the opposite side of that, I think you have to remember na parang if you work for your own money and you're able to spend it, if K-pop is what makes you feel, I don't know, makes it feel rewarding to work for your, like,
Yeah.
to work for how many months, then if you are able, then why not do it, diba? I think it's really about balance.
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 Correct.
Exactly.
The
And it's
balance.
something you learn along the way.
Yeah. I mean, like, we've always said this in our episodes. Like, there were a few episodes out already that we've mentioned na, like when we started working, we were excited to spend money on ourselves, traveling, like just like you, Cessi. And then, I mean, after years of doing that, you would eventually realize na, oh, I don't need all these stuff na may mukha ni Chol. Like, I mean, we've mentioned this in our season 2 premiere with
Yeah.
Elaine, na yun nga na parang eventually you'll grow out of it. So I guess yun nga, face lang siya, so let people be. Ang hindi ko kasi magets, why are people so mad at K-pop fans for spending money when there are a lot of adults as well who spend stuff on shoes, bags,
Shoes.
other
Yeah.
collections.
Parang,
It's just so.
is there a difference?
I mean, it just so happens that we're spending money on people who don't know us.
Yeah. And I mean, it's the same thing for people who spend on like, let's say, basketball or sports. Like,
Yeah.
di naman kayo kilala niyan. So like, what's the difference? It's exactly the same. That's why when people say na parang,
Exactly.
you're overreacting when you like scream over a music video. Like, you scream when you watch basketball games or when
Right.
when a new video game is released. It's the same thing. Like, everyone's happiness just looks different.
Miss Jessie.
Correct.
Please hear my
So true,
snaps.
bestie.
Snap.
She can snap.
So true, bestie.
Well, moving on the conversation, I mean, you have already mentioned how, the K-pop fangirl impacted your professional life or your creative side of your career. How about, like, let's say, I'm curious. I mean, people are curious about this. Kasi personally, me and my friends who are K-pop fans as well, most of us are single. I don't know if that's a thing. I mean, sorry, Ayla, ha? Because this is a table for singles only. So, you just...
Excuse me? Tagal ko ding single. Alam ko yan.
I mean, deserve mo yung jowa mo. Rafa, if you're
Oo.
listening, deserve. Thank you so
Deserve
much for
naman ni
making
Ayla.
Ayla happy. Yeah. But yeah, I mean... yeah, I mean, moving on with my question. Okay, magulo.
Ikaw tang magulo.
I mean, moving on
Anyway.
with my question. I mean, I don't know if it's okay to ask because we did not tell you about it prior to recording, but do you think your standards in men or like relationships in general or women, if you swing that way, do you think your standards in relationship has been affected by K-pop or like what you see visually or let's say ganon?
Definitely. I feel like if anything, like we know that these men or women whom we look up to and we admire so much, like we know that it's really just one side of them and they do that for work. But if anything, like liking that gets it hikes up your standards. So parang, I mean, for the longest time also, I was single. Out of like, when did I start dating ba? Probably when I was 23, 24. That was the first time I ever dated in my life. I had never been like interested in boys before that. Like, because I was so focused on like, all I need are my 13 and 5 boys whom I can see when I like turn on my phone. But like, yeah, parang I think it really did hike up my standards. I actually wrote a piece on Wonder about it. I think it's called "Has K-pop Made Me Undateable" or something like that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, kasi like for me, I'd always been like the single friend, the NBSB friend. But like I never thought anything about it. Like if I'm not looking for one, like I don't need one. But like I mean now, I'm in a relationship now, and I think my boyfriend and I have been together for over a year. So yeah, so I think that like my standards have definitely affected what I expect from a relationship. I mean, I've always known naman like how to value myself and that I am, worth a lot. But I think it's just reinforced further by the men whom I have loved for like 10 years now.
That's
May pag-asa pa tayo, Tita Z.
I mean, I don't know if Cessi is aware because every episode, every chance we get, we always promote ourselves. We're on the market.
Guys,
Me and
DM is
the
the key. DM is the key.
I mean, we're just talking about it comically, like we're just making fun of ourselves. But I'm looking for a relationship, but it's not as it's not parang paano ba? Okay lang na wala. Pero if it comes, ganyan. Pero dati kasi, same with Cessi, I'm not really interested in boys. Like, there have been boys, pero I never took it seriously. Like, ewan ko, akala ko kasi dati, more on ACADS focused ako dati. And then, yun nga, I guess what I'm saying, paano ba? Ang dami ko sinasabi. Pero I guess what I'm saying is, I agree with Cessi na it K-pop really affected our standards in relationship. Pero I'm not looking into dating someone as good looking as Mingyu, let's say. I mean, 'di ba? Kasi
Totoo naman. I mean, I think you have to still be in touch with reality in a way. Like, for example, like if I dated Choler Jangan in real life, like parang ang baba naman ng self-esteem ko nun because like compared to me, like they're like gorgeous,
Right.
So parang I think it's important then to like still stay in touch with real life because at the end of the day, you also have to remember that they only look that good or they only are that nice because it's their job to do so. So parang you can't demand that same level of, I guess, perfection from someone who is like who you're sharing a relationship with. So that's just me.
Oo. Also, dagdagan ko na lang since before, hindi naman ako really into guys din. Kasi parang I had a traumatic past with guys. Pero looking at it now, parang mas important na lang siguro na before you dive into a relationship, and we've been saying this nga, diba, on one of our episodes, you have to figure out na on how to love yourself first. And then, once you know your worth, doon mo ma-start yung mahanap ano yung gusto mo sa other half mo.
Yeah.
Yun.
Very
And like
important.
I guess a big thing lang for me was also or is also that they respect my interests as a fangirl because
Right. Big
um
factor.
yes, it's like for me it's a deal breaker because I mean, let's not like everyone is into K-pop now, so parang it's not so hard to understand naman that someone is a fan of this. But I guess like before kasi in the past there was a time na parang someone who liked me although hindi ko alam that he liked me at that time. Parang nagpaparinig siya na parang it would be nice sana if the girl that I was with I wouldn't like if she was like so crazy over that stuff. And I'm like, me is being oblivious. Like, I'm the kind of person na di alam that you like me until you tell me. So, oh, I mean, that sounds like it's your problem. Kasi like,
Right.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly how it is. It's his problem, not yours. Hindi
Diba?
walang
And
problema
like,
sa'yo.
everyone has our own different interests. So I think it's a matter of like, it's really a matter of respecting each person's tastes. And like, true enough, like kanina, my boyfriend messaged me like a screenshot na he was listening to Shiny's repackaged album. Eh ako at that point, I hadn't even listened to it yet because I was busy. So nakikinig siya to Atlantis and I'm like, or like a song off of Atlantis and I'm like, mas una ka pa sa akin.
Cute!
But I was proud. I was
God,
proud.
when
God, I know you're here.
Yeah, it's
God,
nice
I know you're
when
real.
when your partner respects your interests and when they also share it with you. Ayun.
That's really nice. Gusto ko din.
Parang iyak ka.
Send your applications at thekimbopshow at thekimbopshow.com. Ang bawal ko lang kay Z is Capricorn.
Yun lang yung restriction ko. Hindi DDS at hindi Capricorn. And all other things that can be discussed.
Sa akin, let's negotiate. Charot.
Thanks for sharing your love life, Cessi. We really appreciate that. Moving on, would like to ask then, kasi we've been discussing how you got into K-pop and how it affected your career and love life, and obviously you're a big fan of Shiny and 17. We wanna ask, was there ever a time that you wanted to, quit?
The fandom?
No, yeah.
Being a
Yeah.
fangirl.
I think yes, it's crossed my mind in like especially during times na parang ang daming drama on Stan Twitter because I mean that kind of stuff is exhausting. I'm stressed enough with real life and parang even K-pop is stressing me out. So I think in those moments sometimes I think about it, but like I've never really gotten to the point wherein I pressure myself na parang I think some people kasi when they tell themselves na or the thought crosses their mind na I want to quit or I want to stop being their fan, they really dedicate like the effort to like not listen to them anymore or like not consume any content from them. But for me naman, in my personal experience, I think parang I just sort of let myself be. If I fall out of love with it, then sure. If I still want to watch their videos, then I'll do that. And it just so happens na parang bumabalik naman ako. Like I never like I think in college because I didn't really have that many friends who were also big fans of K-pop na active pa rin. I think it sort of took like a back seat during that time. But then like I mean I was still listening to their music and all of that. So parang even though I thought about quitting the fandom and like not really being into K-pop anymore, I think like it's just sort of something I come back to anyway.
Now that you've mentioned it, I mean, this question is kind of personal to me right now. I've told Michi and Ayla about this because, I relate so much how, Stan Twit has become toxic. Like, we've always said na, real life is stressful, so somehow K-pop is like an escape. And, I mean, it's not supposed to be, but that's how it is for most people. Like, it's an escape. So, when K-pop is becoming toxic as well, like, parang you wanna take a step back and, like, parang, what am I here for? Like, parang ganon. So, that happened to me recently. Like, I was thinking of quitting, like, I unfollowed I unfollowed 17 on every social media like they have. I unsubscribed on their YouTube account. And then friends don't send me, I mean, some friends still, pero most of my friends don't send me 17 stuff anymore because they know that I'm trying to, graduate like from that phase. Pero I felt na parang pinipressure ko yung sarili ko. And parang hindi ako comfortable na parang kasi nga yun eh. Like, let's say it as it is. K-pop is somehow an addiction. Like, diba? When you quit smoking, abruptly
May withdrawal.
May
May withdrawals ka.
It's not that easy to quit something that has been part of your life for a long time. So I thought na parang maybe this is not how I should do it. Like if I want to watch, their music videos, listen to their music, I do like ganyan. Like pero hindi na ako katulad nung every time I notif, oh my gosh, 17 Hoshi Spider is out. Like I would instantly click on it. Hindi na ako ganon. Like yun nga. For example, I watched Spider like 2 days after it was released. Parang ganon. Para kasing I don't dedicate myself anymore to every content that 17 release. I mean, as a 17 fans ourselves here, diba? Like lahat tayo 17 fans, and we know na we never run out of contents from 17. Like every day, like there's always something, and it gets tiring sometimes when you want to keep up with everything. Kasi I felt then during my time with 17 na parang when pag nasa GC ka kasi ng group chat ka ng fans and your friends would talk about this, parang di ka aware sa nangyari, so you would feel pressured na alamin yun. And then yun nga, what I did was mute those GCs. I mean, I still check them pero I mute them ganyan. So parang yun nga.
Mas nakahinga ka ng maluwag when you do that.
Na parang I don't want to be hard on myself. Like yun nga, I will take it slowly ganyan. But I still love them. It's just that I don't want to dedicate so much time on them anymore kasi I feel like it's time for me to find some other interest na to grow, Ayun, share ko lang.
I can relate with that kasi feel ko na sa stage na ako na okay na ako with not buying their merch. Kasi that happened to me similarly in 2019. Like 2019 was the year I really poured it all. Like I went to Korea twice to watch Carrotland and Odd to You, right? 2019, yeah. So like I poured it all, and then something happened in 2019 that somehow changed how I viewed things to the point na it made me want to reconsider fangirling and life and everything. And wait lang, Mama.
Hi, Tita.
Hi, Tita.
Sorry. Okay.
Something happened in 2019.
Yeah, something happened in 2019 that kind of changed how I viewed things and how I viewed myself as a fangirl then. And I kind of reevaluated my life choices, I guess. And ayun, parang ano siya eh. Unlike Z na parang may agency ako with it. Parang yung event na yun, parang it forced me to reevaluate things. And slowly, parang at first, nawiwirdohan ako na di ako nagki-K-pop. Pero I got used to it in time. Like, I still check Twitter from time to time. Like, I still check how Wonu's doing. Like, when I see his pictures, his videos, I still swoon, ganon. Pero like, I don't keep up with everything he's doing na. It's okay for me not to know everything. Yung parang ganun, yung thought na okay lang kahit hindi ako updated with everything. Okay lang if I don't know every single fan sign he's attended, every single thing he has said to every single fan. It's impossible to keep up with that. And I tried my best back then to try it to the point
but you even translated
I even translated
things
before. Yeah, so like it got to the point that I was really obsessed with it. Like, I would search Wonu in Hangul, like, every 5 minutes just to see if there's something new. Like, ganon. And, like, it's a habit that I chose to outgrow from and something that I wanted to outgrow from them. And, like, now, I still love them. though the feeling of
Yeah.
love has somehow changed somehow, like they still have a special place in my heart. Like every time I see them, my heart like swells with feelings of comfort, something like that.
Pride.
Yeah, pride, and like they're doing so well, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pero like I think I relate to that din naman. Na parang I think the way that my love for them manifests is different compared to say when I started fangirling in 2008, and even like if I compare myself now to the way that I was like at the start of the pandemic, it's so different. Like I think your priorities really do change, and the ways that you show your love for them also changes. Like, similar to Z, parang I watched Spider super late na up until now. Like, just shortly before we started recording, that was the only time I was able to listen to Shiny's repackaged album. So parang, I mean, I think it's so easy kasi for a K-pop to become your personality trait or your own
Right.
personality when you're like into it for so long. So I think I also know a lot of people who are like that, na parang because they know it's been such an impactful part of their lives for so long, they really make it a point to like try and do other things or explore other hobbies, which is also not wrong. Because like, I mean, everyone's just here for a good time, diba?
Right. Yeah.
True. Ako, I can personally, I can personally relate to all of the stories that you guys mentioned. Pero, I've experienced that kind of withdrawal when I was in college. Pero, I didn't really force myself to stop getting into K-pop. Parang it became natural na lang because I decided naturally na to give my full attention to all of the stuff I need to submit back in college. So, parang, I leave na lang quietly. I leave the fandom prior quietly na lang. And then when, nung I figure out na, shit, malapit na mag-graduate, I have all the time and the luxury at that time. And at the same time, doon ko rin nakilala yung 17. So parang it became natural for me to just get back on it. But it's not as intense as in high school na parang I need to dedicate my time or every single time into this. Now it's like I know how to control it. Like I know what's up, I know what's happening in Stan Twitter, I know what they're
What's the
doing and
tea?
all that stuff. Yeah. And what's happening with 17, with all this stuff going on. But I'm like, no, pero kinokontrol ko na lang na parang,
Yeah.
yes, I can consume it, but I'm not gonna take it too hard. I have other things to do. Like right now, I'm just finished my portfolio before recording, so I need to get a new job. Mamaya na yung
bread.
K-pop. I'll get the bread first. Ganun.
Go
So, I
man,
think
get the
that's
bread.
Kayo. And sa mga listeners who are for sure undergoing the same route as all of us here, don't put fangirling as your personality trait. Love something naturally and you can get out of that love naturally na din. Don't,
Yeah.
yun. So now that we have like a open talk going on right now, I want to ask Cessi, do you have any advice to anyone who is also a professional fangirl?
I guess I'd say like similar to what I mentioned a while ago, like something that people could see as your weakness could actually be your strength. So in my case, that was K-pop. So I think I was very fortunate to like be working at a time when everyone just happened to get into the K-pop wave and everyone is trying to like ride on it now and even take advantage of it. And I think that it has become sort of like a weapon for me to set myself apart from other people because, I mean, you can't deny the experience. The past, 13 years of my life have been dedicated to loving this thing. So parang, no matter how much research you do, you're never going to know it like someone who was truly into it for that long and really dedicated their time and their money and their love to it, diba? So parang for me, I feel like that's really the biggest like piece of advice I could give. It's that people would always say na parang, oh, you're still into that, parang K-pop pa rin until now, single ka pa rin, you're still into that. But like, ultimately, it got me so many opportunities that I am thankful for and that I don't think I would have gotten if I were not a fan.
That's beautiful. I mean, what more can we say? You truly said whatever. I mean, everything that we want to say. Ayun,
Actually,
totoo naman yun.
totoo naman.
Go on,
I
Michi.
think yung sinabi ni Cessi na your weaknesses become strength. I think what Cessi or what everyone here, yung anumang struggle natin, I think that's our biggest flex na din. It's like our character development. In a way na parang don't view that weakness negatively. Because sometimes your weaknesses can be also a positive thing. And I think it's beautiful that you're growing naturally and you are loving things naturally na din.
Diba? Kasi like, it's really different if you willingly want to learn about something. Like, I mean, my love for K-pop made me like start learning Korean. It brought me on trips that I wanted to, like, got me to explore different parts of Korea. And all of that translated into who I am now and things that I can sort of apply in my work life as well. So, I mean, I don't think that your interests or your hobbies can be left at just that. Like, I mean, if you want it to just sort of be like your escape or your happy place, sure. But then it also has that potential to be something more and to take you to, I guess, further places. So it doesn't have to be K-pop.
Diba?
Correct.
This podcast was born out of that love, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. And also I wanna say lang din na parang K-pop has been an avenue for all of us to channel our different interests as well. I mean, personally, I'm into organizing events. So through K-pop, I do like cups of events or like fundraising events. Because when back in college, I'm really I'm with different organizations, student organizations. So I kind of miss doing that. So one day I thought na, why don't I organize this Hoshi Cups of event? You know, like, so parang it's K-pop is one thing, but it's also, it also can be an avenue for you to, you know, do like mash your interest. So for friends, for those people who have friends na K-pop fans, I mean, don't mock them for loving something, because I'm sure you love something too, and it's a matter of respect at this point. Like, we all have different interests, and it just happened na it's K-pop for us, and as long as there's nothing wrong with what we're doing, and we're not bashing people online just because we think our faves are better than others' faves, I mean, diba? Then that's fine. That's fine. There's no issue at all. So yeah, for friends, let's just be supportive, and you know, just like keep your friends on track as well. Let's just guide them na they don't overspend or lose sleep over streaming. I guess. Yeah, that's for me. How about you guys? Michi and Ayla.
For me naman, sobrang funny kasi talaga na originally I want to be an editor sa Impact of Tota Girl kasi. And then parang later on, parang gusto kong maging IT. And then when I discover K-pop, parang shit, gusto kong maging editor ulit or something of that nature. So, it's funny na parang K-pop made me like things visual storytelling, let's say. Parang I do photo shoots. I thought of PubMats, or right now, I'm being a tech support here at sa KimBop show.
Yeah.
Yung mga, I didn't expect that I'll go this far in my skill set.
For that path.
For that path na din. So, I guess you can say na I'm thankful na din for K-pop because of this. So, I remember din bigla na one time, I was asked by my friend nung college, parang, kailan ka titigil sa K-pop? And then, looking back at it now, after everything that's said, parang, I don't think I'm gonna stop kasi K-pop is becoming a big inspiration and somehow developed my skill sets at one point. So, yes, you can really ask your friends of when will they stop, but you have to be happy for your friends na before they don't see anything beyond their future. You have to be happy for your friends na na-realize lang nila recently na they do have a future from their love in K-pop. So yun, just
Ganda.
help your friends, provide your friends with the hand to hold in this really
Hold
funny
my
yet
hand.
really natural loving for K-pop.
Yeah,
Hawak
yeah,
kamay, ganun. So yun.
Ganda.
Ikaw
Ganda
naman,
nun.
Ayla.
I specifically liked what Cessi said, that your weakness can be your strength. And, our appreciation for K-pop is a form of love. And loving is not a form of weakness. It's a form of strength that we possess because it shows that we are able to give energy, effort into something that we love. Na parang yun, thinking about it, K-pop has opened a lot of doors din to me in my social life, in my love life kasi yung jowa ko. Kaya ako siya chinat sa Bumble kasi K-pop fan siya. So yeah, I mean, it has opened doors for me. Like in my
Bestie.
in my social life, and like some opportunities as well, like for example, ano lang siya, parang sa event, for example, nag-host ako during a cup sleeve event, tas parang I discovered, parang bet ko pala mag-host, tas eto ngayon nagpa-podcast na si tita mo, o diba? Parang bet ko pala magsalita, something like that.
Exactly.
And yun, parang I'm a social psych major din kasi. Tapos sometimes we also talk about fangirling and how you can apply the principles of psych into fangirling. Like, yung mentality, yung paano mo na-apply yung nangyayari sa fandom into politics. For example, what are the parallels? So sometimes we talk about that sa class. Ganon. Parang it's nice that I have had this experience. And even though I'm not like the person I was like 2 years ago, I am still very thankful na I had this kind of experience and I was able to meet a lot of people like you guys. And ayun, parang yeah, fangirling is a journey, and may mga times talaga na you will be really into it. There will be times you won't. There will be times you'll be happy. There will be times you won't be so happy. But what's important is, through fangirling, you learn what it's like to love. Yeah. Yeah.
Pero agree ako dyan, swear. Like, I feel din na parang back onto like the topic of love and all of that, parang liking K-pop has made me the best candidate for a long-distance relationship. Like, they're like an ocean away, okay?
Yeah.
And we only see each other like, what, once or twice a year if we're lucky. So, parang, I mean, I don't ask for much, really.
That's nice. I'm really happy for you guys, and this has been a meaningful conversation. I mean, more than just, fangirling. I got to know, even my co-host, I got to know you better through this episode. So, why don't we, we're borderline going over an hour. So, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Now that we had a really meaningful conversations, especially with someone with professional fangirl as her social media bio, Miss Cessi. Can you share us with, or can you promote your social media and your other ventures as well? Please do so.
Yeah.
Taray ng ventures. Okay, sure. Well, I am on Instagram. I am at Cessi Treñas. That's CESSI TRENAS. I am also a part of the Wonder team, so you can follow us at WonderMagPH. I think that's our handle on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. And if you want to follow me on Stan Twitter too, I'm at 96line on Stan Twitter.
Ayan.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Miss Cessi.
Thank you, Cessi.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
I really
Cessi.
enjoyed this episode. Sana nag-enjoy
Thank you
ka
so
din.
much. Yes, of course. Grabe, like, I feel I need social interaction because I'm stuck at home. Like my family's been kami lang for going on 1 year now. So any chance to talk to other people, I'm thankful.
I mean, you can come over our show anytime. Just message me or like in our group chat. Like, hey, I'm interested in this topic and we can discuss about it. We can always do that, Cessi. Especially like, we enjoyed this a lot.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Yay! So, if you want to listen to other episodes of The KimBop Show, our podcast is available on Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Pocket Casts, and all other streaming platforms.
Yes. And if you want to follow us on our social media, pwede. It's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at The KimBop Show.
Or if you want to share your thoughts on this episode or just give a quick shout out to us, you can do so by dropping by at Kurskat, that's at The KimBop Show, or join our Telegram channel, t.me/The KimBop Show. And actually, guys, we are now part of the Bunk Collective if you are not aware of that yet. So you can check us out and all our other bankmates. It's thebunkph.com, tama ba?
Yes.
I think that's
thebunkph.com.
ph.com, yeah. And if you wanna contact us for sponsorship, maybe we are
Baka naman.
we are KimBop Show at thebunkph.com. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay guys, this has been Cessi.
This has been Z.
This has been Michi.
And this has been Isla. We'll see you guys again next time.
Bye.
Bye,
Tuman
guys.
na
Thank
yun.
you.
Bye. Tuman na yun.
Bye.